You got it. Okay.
Okay. It's taking forever for the big red button there.
Right.
All
It's
right.
like, one, two. It's like,
All
yeah.
right. Here we go. It's coming. All right. All right, here we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of Black Empowerment 365. I am one of your hosts, Kente, all the way live from Los Angeles, California, and I'm here with the wonderful, the beautiful, the talented Kiana Rodriguez. How you doing, Kiana?
I am wonderful. I'm wonderful here in Charlotte, and it is beautiful out, so I'm very excited about tonight. How are you doing?
I'm excellent. It's beautiful here in Los Angeles. And, I'm just so happy. When the sun is shining, it's usually nothing wrong.
Right. Right.
So now we are blessed to be joined by someone who I just think the world of. This young lady was one of the people that I met when I first came on to Blab. And I just, you know how you meet people sometimes and you really just find a kinship with them, and it's almost like you've known them for a while. And this is this person. So I want to introduce to the audience Amirah Kweli, right? Am I pronouncing it right? Your last name? Kweli. So I'm like the rapper, right?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I want to, we have a tradition on this show that we love to give people's origin stories. So let's first start off. Where were you born? Where are you from originally?
Oh wow. Where am I from? Shoot, where am I not from? I've been born on this planet Earth now. No, actually, in all reality, let's be honest. I was basically born in St. Louis, Missouri, or Missouri. Moved to Louisville, Kentucky, and have traveled the world since then. How about that?
Okay, we can do that.
Quick.
So,
nothing,
I like that.
Nothing real fabulous about that.
Mm-hmm. Well, those are some places that I've breezed through a couple of times, but I haven't had the pleasure or the misfortune. It depends on, I guess, the way you look at it of living there. So, would you consider yourself a Midwest girl?
I don't want to be, but unfortunately, I have been. But keep in mind that what I didn't tell you, I think I left out, I guess, is the fact that I used to spend all my summers in the southern aspect, so y'all can tell like some of my little accent. I got the Midwest accent, but at the same time, I got the country flow as well. What Nelly call it, and he's a lie, country grammar. Because we don't talk that bad there. It's just the fact that, they exaggerate it. I mean, like her and stuff like that, but on the terms of, I've spent like a lot of my time in New Orleans. I spent a lot of my time in Mississippi, Gulfport, Mississippi, and Prentice, Mississippi, and New Haven, Mississippi. So, of course, I have those origins behind me as well. So you're gonna hear some little twang in my speech, in my tone, and etc. But so I guess you can call me a Midwest / country girl.
So you were by Keesler Air Force Base.
Exactly. I can go with that.
Yes.
I can go with that. Don't tell nobody though.
I don't want to tell anybody. I was there.
Now, the purpose of this show is we're going to talk about the importance of activism, and activism is something that's a part of your background as well as today. And I feel like a lot of people have this idea that we should just all sit on the sideline. They don't realize that you don't have to be out with a picket sign or marching to actually have an impact. But my thing is you got to get in the game. So I want to start off where was the first seeds planted in your head as far as activism being something that would be a part of you as an adult going forward?
let's be honest. And my mother swears up and down that this didn't happen because she doesn't want to understand that she's the one that put this in my brain, okay? But originally, first of all, my mother, I'm a 70s baby. I'm going to tell y'all my age. I'm 43 years old as of May 3rd. But originally, my mother was a school teacher. And of course, during the 70s and during the 80s, of course, they didn't have fair pay for black teachers or Africans. I'm not gonna say African Americans, so I don't think that's coming out of my mouth. Okay, that's another topic for another day. Okay, with that said, is no way that her and many other of her comrades or whatever you want to call co-workers came together and decided that they wanted fair prices or fair rates pay like the white teachers, so they would pick it. So that was one thing. My cousin had a coloring book, and it was a picture of Malcolm X. It was like a Malcolm X coloring book.
Mm-hmm.
And I seen him speaking on stage, and I said, I want that to be me, Mom. I want to be just like him. And she said, no, you don't want to be like him. He's dead. So,
wow.
So they had pictures of Dr. King. I grew up with pictures of Dr. King because, again, my mother's a school teacher. So she definitely taught me about taught me about Black history. And so I learned many things in dealing with that. About, my culture or what they said my culture was. So I had a somewhat of a traditional background in that. And keep in mind that all of my aunts were school teachers, and they all grew up. All grew up around them. So I was definitely heavily impacted in history. And then I had a teacher. His name was James Worthy. When I was in God, what grade was that? 9th grade, my freshman year. And he talked about activism, and he talked about, excuse my French, but I'm just going to tell you how he said it. He talked about going into the old Sears, this place called the old Sears building, and they wouldn't let him use the bathroom. So he said he pulled out his wanker. This is his exact words. He said he pulled out his wanker and pissed right on the floor, because he said if he couldn't go to the white man's bathroom with the white people, he was going to piss on the floor. So anyway, I don't know why, but I was really intrigued by that, and I really admired that. And so pretty much I grew up around, again, a lot of racism. So going into grocery stores when I was little and them accusing me of stealing gum, and my mother saying, no, she didn't steal gum. We can pay for it. I have a job, And of course, growing up around, going to a Black school, into a Black neighborhood, and having white teachers, and keeping my mind, my mother was a Black teacher. I think one of the biggest things that made me really know that things was not fair, because my mother didn't really explain the picketing aspect, okay? I just knew she had to go, and she had signs, and I would read the signs because I could read. But I think the most profound thing in my life at that point, at that tender age, was this teacher named Mr. Wilson. Everybody in the class that was Black got a D and an F in the class in math. I mean, not that I'm good at math. Don't get it twisted. I don't like math, but that ain't the point. So everybody that's Black got a F and a D. So of course they got him fired. This was when I was in grade school, McKinley School. So it was in the Norby district. I would say about the 5th or 4th grade. It had to be one of those grades. It was somewhere, but I remember the teacher. I might not remember the grade, but his name was Mr. Wilson, and he had like a little part right here, and he was bald in the middle. So, something, So I'm telling you that definitely, because my mother had to explain to us, and even to the point where they had to have a school meeting. They had all the students come in and explain it to them and broke it down like, he was racist, this and this and that. They fired him, let him go instantly after them grades came out because it was too much. So anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. with the next question because I was gonna beat the hell out that one, but
no, you're fine. I guess I was thinking about that actually being a point where it really changed you. How was day-to-day dealing with racism for you?
As a youth or as an adult?
As a youth.
It kind of made me sad somewhat. I didn't feel I felt less wanted, and I didn't really want to go to school. I wanted to more so be homeschooled. Mm-hmm. I always told, my mother, is it a way that I could find a way not to have to go to school? And I always talked to her about different ways to not go to school. I'm sorry, I forgot I was on camera, y'all. I'm so used to now. I'm trying to. Anyway, so it just made me. I know I forget in a minute. Y'all gotta let me know you on camera, girl. So it just made me feel a certain kind of way, and I just always expected it. You know what I mean? I always expected certain racism, and that's what I expected from white folks. In my comment, I'm a 70s baby. Remember, I said my travels from the Midwest to the Southern. Now, on a Southern level, let's discuss it on a Southern level. Let's take you back into history before I even got here. What I grew up with before I got here, but what my embryo to now to deal with. So basically, my grandfather was beat up by a whole bunch of white folk in Prentice, Mississippi. Okay, so my father and my uncles retaliated. So of course, my father being the well-known and the second oldest, he had to leave because they was going to kill him. They gave him time to get out of town, and he went back. He came to St. Louis to live with his grandparents. Okay, so that's what I grew up with. Now here I go down to the South. They're still picking cotton. Now I want y'all to understand this. My grandmother had her own farm, but she still, again, had to make ends meet. So she would go to other farms and pick cotton. Wow. Clean people's houses. Buy her, but she was buying her own stuff, selling her, doing trade with the grocery stores and doing a lot of different things to earn income. And she had, I want to say it was 18 of them, 18 children. Mm-hmm. Okay. My grandmother was dropping like it's hot till she was in her 60s. Okay. And my grandmother is 90. Wow. And still alive and rocking. Okay. All right. They got her all on Facebook, y'all. I'm like, if y'all don't take my grandmother off of damn Facebook. But anyway, that's another story. I'm kind of mad about that. But once you got your grandmother, she just sit up there. Wait a minute. She's singing happy birthday. I'm like, if y'all don't take my grandmother off of that damn Facebook, I'm going to hurt one of y'all. But, ghetto. But we're here talking about I love y'all. I'm sorry. If y'all see this, I'm sorry, cousins. I love y'all. Take my grandma off Facebook, though. Take Big Mama off Facebook. But anyway, yeah. So the issue, going into that and dealing with that, and to the point where we couldn't go into certain stores. This was in the 80s, okay? Right. My grandmother would be like, you can't go into that store. I'm like, why, Big Mama? She's like, you asking me damn questions, but I'll go ahead and answer it, though, okay? She's like, because they don't like you. I'm like, why don't they like me, Big Mama? Because the color of your skin, because you black. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, what are they? They skin color's different, but long story. So I had to endorse that. I had to deal with that. And we couldn't go into certain stores. We couldn't be around certain people. I'm talking about the South, okay? My grandmother didn't, of course, your next door neighbor was like 5 miles down the road, right? So it wasn't a thing where we couldn't be outside. So that wasn't the question. It was to be into town was the issue. Okay. And then remember, I just told you my family background. So, their children had children and children had children. Okay. Right. So they know their name. Okay. So I've dealt with it my whole life, and, it's a struggle. I mean, and now it's at the point, of course, I'm grown. I'm 43 years old. So it's not necessarily about me having to deal with racism and things like that. I'm more so worried about, because I'm a grandmother, I'm more so worried about that for generations to come, because there's still racism, there's still police brutality, there's still all these different devices that we have to deal with, and of course we have to acknowledge this black on black crime. Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that's a huge issue, and that's because of people not understanding self-love and loving themselves, and being oppressed and being in a situation that is not righteous to begin with. But that's a whole. We'll get into that. I'm not going to jump start it. Okay, go ahead. I'm done with that question.
Well, that's awesome. One thing I don't think that a lot of us understand that is, as African Americans, we have a long history of women that were activists, that were very strong activists, that because of their contributions, really advanced us as a people. And I don't know that, I think we know about some people like Harriet Tubman, possibly Ida B. Wells. Some people may know as well. But I want you to kind of speak on yourself as a woman, about the roles that Black women can play in helping bring our community to where we need it to be.
Everything. The Black woman can play every role possible. We have, and I'm going to quote Minister Louis Farrakhan when he states and says that the Black woman has been the burden carriers for eons of years. Now, he didn't quote that. He said it a little bit differently, that part, but the very first part I said it till I started breaking it down to the eons aspect. But definitely keep in mind that the Black woman or the African woman has always been, before we even left Kemet or whatever people want to call Africa, that's a whole nother topic, right? Before we left motherland, I'm just can I be safe to call it motherland right now for our audience purposes?
Yes.
Before we even left the motherland, we've always carried on a certain struggle, even when villages and different warriors will fight each other. The woman would always be there fighting with her sword. It's people like Queen Husep. It's people like Queen Nzinga. It's all these different people from the Kemet times that have led wars that was queens and kings when their kings would die in battle and their children couldn't take the stand because they were infants. So the Black woman had to grab her sword, and then even on down to when we talk about Harriet Tubman, the freedom fighter, Ross. You know what I'm saying? Ross. That's her name, and she called us the. But the thing is, even when she would have her gun and her Bible, and she would have her smelling salts, because a lot of times she would have to kill some niggas. Excuse my French, but I gotta tell it like it is. But she had to kill some niggas because of the fact that some of them didn't want to leave the plantation, and they would change their mind at the last minute. But because of the fact that, they would go and snitch to the slave master to tell them the plan. So she had to take them out. Right. And then you had some of the ones where they had babies. And of course, you didn't want the babies to be so loud. So she had to give them some smelling salts to knock them out. Mm-hmm. True story.
Right.
Read your history. Right. But yeah. So again, when we talk about what part does the Black woman play, we play every damn part that there is. We're on the front lines. We are nurses. We're the educators. We're the people that are bearing the children, the first person that the child sees. We take on the role of soldiers. I did say enemy lines. We take on the roles of wherever we need to be at any given space and any given time. How about that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what do you think is our most important role as Black women right now as activists? What do you think our most important role is right now?
Snatching the hell out of our children. And I don't mean that in a condescending way. I don't mean like beating them. I mean grabbing them before they turn into the system. And I mean like grabbing them like, hey, little Bobby, mommy loves you. You need to come with me, and standing up and not allowing our children to be systematically placed into these industrial institutions such as schools, such as the prisoners, because it's all the same shit. Mm-hmm. Such as what's another institution? Prison, school, it's the same shit. What else? What am I missing? Oh, the medical institution. Did I leave that out? I can't believe I left out the healthcare industry. That's another scapegoat. These folks, forces are all together. They all sit on the same damn boards and the school boards, even on the times of political power. If we start putting our children into these systems, it corrupts them and it leaves them liable to be taken out. Okay, on a different level, whether it's medically, whether it is on an emotional level, because of the fact that they're seeing certain things that they shouldn't necessarily see. So I forgot about your question. Since I didn't run on the rapid. See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all gotta keep me like this, because I'll go.
Oh, you were answering the question I was asking as Black women, activists right now. What role do you feel that
for the children
play? So you were really answering the question.
The children, I know, but I still went deep. Okay. So let me make sure I cut my phone on mute, because I don't want nobody calling while we're doing our thing. Okay, y'all. Let me make sure. Okay. I'm still gonna talk. Don't worry. I can still talk and chew gum at the same time. Okay. So what I'm saying to you is that wherever we need to be, that's need to be our role. If it's on the front line with the picket sign, if it's with defense, you know what I mean. And I mean, let me break this down in defense, because we don't want anybody to misconstrue my words. Okay. When we're being aggressed against, okay, there's a matter of self-defense. So I'm going to defend myself. So, excuse me. So whether it's on the lines of defending ourselves, defending our family, because maybe the male is working. But let me tell y'all something. Now, and largely, Black women or Africans or Kemet, whatever y'all want to call yourself, the people, us, okay, or highly being arrested more so now than ever, okay? We're being taken out of our homes as well. So, wherever we need to be, whether it's the front lines, whether it's in the pulpit, whether it's public speaking, we got so many of them, whether it's a doctor, because we need more doctors. We need more doctors who care, that come into the community, that are doing house visits, that are holistic healers, that are herbalists, that know and understand medical, that can perform, operate, all of that stuff. Lawyers, we need more women lawyers, okay? Because of the fact that we are getting arrested and we're getting trumped up charges and we're getting unfair justice, okay, in this system, especially against these police brutality cases, okay? Yes, I said that. Now, why people say why I said that like you didn't hear me the first time. But definitely that. Definitely on the terms of medical. Definitely on the terms of being definitely positive role model for your children. Definitely being a great partner for your mates. Okay, because that is really needed, because our family infrastructure is ruined. Okay. Because of the fact that welfare, that's a whole nother topic. We'll talk about that whenever, if y'all ask me about it. But anyway, we have to get back to our infrastructure of the family and healing our families. So as healers on whatever level. So wherever we get in to fit in, I think that's where we need to be.
Now you said several things that I want to unpack. I have to take some mental notes. I probably should have a pad and pen so I can make sure we get to all these things. But I definitely I want to go to the school system, because I thought you brought up something very, very, very important that people don't understand, that the miseducation of our youth is partly leading our kids to the prison system. And a lot of it is designed that way as well. We don't understand that. Of course. And I want to do a show. We haven't talked about it yet, me and Kiana, or maybe I think we might have, where a lot of Black parents specifically are homeschooling their kids because they see the miseducation that's going on in the school system. And so we're going to do a whole show on at some point on homeschooling.
Absolutely.
That's that's really important topic right now, the miseducation. But I want to circle. I'm gonna circle back to that. But I want to talk to you specifically about something you brought up is the reason why, if you think about it, Black people were brought here to this country, hundreds of years ago, right? We endured slavery, Jim Crow, civil rights movement today, right? And we're still here. We're actually still here, right? Black people are still here. And the reason for that is because Black men and Black women supported each other. Black man has always had the support of his woman, and Black women, was supported by Black men as well. And unfortunately, today I'm starting to see that erode. It seems like Black people don't support each other, Black men and Black women. And I want you to speak on, from your point of view, the importance of, I'm not even just talking about romantically. I'm talking about the idea
in general,
Black men and Black women being together with each other as a community and united, and the importance of that.
Okay, so you want me to break down? Say the last little part. So you want me to break down what?
From your perspective,
the importance of it,
right?
The importance of it. Okay. Yeah, I start going on a tangent. I'm trying to stay narrow. Okay. What I'm basically, it's very important, because I'm telling you, if I could, I would rather be doing something else than this shit. I'm just gonna tell you, because of the fact that it's a never-ending story. It's a never-ending saga. Okay, it's always us having to defend ourselves, whether we're in Kemet, because we had to defend different, because we're tribal people. Okay, so we're tribal people, and this is us, this is you, okay? And then, but see, the tribal stuff was a little bit differently than it is now. The tribal stuff is a little bit, didn't went out of range. But right now, we need each other. We're nothing without each other, regardless to what your religious beliefs are, because that's what separates the alleged Willie Lynch pamphlet, right, which is whether it's true, whether somebody actually wrote it back in those days and times. When was that, 1719? I don't recall. I can't remember. But it was somewhere around there. But anyway, during slavery time, okay? So the point is, irregardless of whether they wrote it during that time or not, it still applies, okay? So because of light skin, dark skin, and y'all know, yada, yada, yada. Young, old, long hair, nappy hair, good hair, bad hair, which is I think all hair is good. I don't know what the hell that Becky stuff is, but that's another topic. So what I'm saying is that the bottom line is, even that separates us. It's like, even in the so-called conscious community, I rock with people and they'll be like, well, I don't talk to people. I don't talk to people because they got blonde hair or permanent hair. I don't give a damn what your hair look like, as long as your ass is out here on this line and we doing what the hell we need to do. Okay, so again, that's the form. And even in like these different organizations and different it's division, because of your organization is better than my organization. Your organization work with this kind of group and I don't mess with them. Instead of just finding the point of unity and kind of agreeing to disagree. Like, I don't fuck with the shit you talking about, but I'm going to work with you on this. You understand what I'm saying? So the importance of it is the fact that regardless, even I'm at the level in my life, okay, where, a lot of people, again, like I said, the hair color, what you got in your hair, who you sleeping with, that's another issue in the Black community, in the conscious community, where they be like, well, that's Willie Lynchism. I don't give a damn if it's that way. If we got to get out here and fight this oppression, we got to deal with it, okay? Mm-hmm. But I don't have time to be discussing with people on certain things. We can have that conversation later. But right now is now. We dying now. won't have time to be discussing who the hell you sleeping with, and y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't want to even discuss that unless y'all ask me. I'm not gonna bring that up. Mm-hmm. But I don't give a damn who you sleeping with. I don't give a damn what you're talking about. But the point is that the black man and the black woman definitely has to come together. And even let me tell y'all something. Y'all, I'm gonna come closer here. Now y'all listen to me. Y'all see the veins in my forehead. I would even on the level of when we say black people have to first clean their own house, come together, yada, yada, yada. Y'all know that, right? So even on the level of, hey, brown man, brown woman, hey, they kind of oppressing us all, right? And then you see the little red man in the red, because they left out too, because they was over here before. You know what I'm saying? They got their stuff talking for real. And as your boy, what's your boy name? The comedian. What's his name? The one used to write for everybody. The real Paul Mooney.
Paul Mooney.
Yeah, he said that they one little Indian, two little Indian. He said they do census to find out how many Indians you got in your house so they can come get them too. But the point is that we're leaving them out as well because they got some issues too. And we all got the same issues. The red man, the black man, the brown man all have the same issues, whether we want to be honest, because we both self-hatred, black on black crime, red on red crime, brown on brown, okay? And we still got the same certain people that's playing strings with us. And you don't believe me, look into the prison system, because what happens in the prison system happens in the outside world, okay? Follow it. Believe me, it does. Okay, because the same people that run the prison systems are the same people that run the school system, that run the healthcare industry, that run all these other motherfuckers. Okay, so we're needed. Go ahead. Next question.
So, what do you think is the solution? I know that there's certain people that feel like we need to go back to a point where we have our own schools again, so we can begin educating our youth and really getting the history that we need, the education that we need. But what do you think is a solution to really come together? I mean, when there are people out there doing things, you know, you have in different places, but how do you think we can all kind of come and band together?
There are several solutions. There are so many different solutions. I'm trying to see where I start from. I'm just going to throw some things out there, right?
Okay.
Number one, you've already said it about designing and making our own schools. Removing and taking our children out of these schools, taking our children out of these systems, declaring our own land, et cetera, fighting for that. But at the same time, we still have people within the system that are our people that's still keeping the system crap up. So because of that, the first half of that is we have to begin to start exposing more of the contradictions. For example, I'm answering your question, but I got to break this stuff down before I can really get to it. Okay, so trying to think on how to do it. Okay, so when you have a crime, I mean, just the simple basic stuff they always talk about. I know I'm being cliche, but they always talking about how, boom, this person just mentioned it. When you go, I'll give you an example. I'm not gonna do a cliche. I'm gonna do my life. Okay, let's do my life. Let's take my life into account. Okay. First of all, let me tell y'all this. Some of my background. First of all, let's talk about regular education. Okay, so I have my high school diploma. I have an associate's degree from Brown Mackie College. And I also have another associate's degree from St. Louis Community College in Information Systems, some old bullshit, right? Okay. Then I have a master and a bachelor's degree from University of Sedona / metaphysics. Okay. And I'm working on my doctorate as a life coach, holistic healer, whatever that is called. Okay. I'm just being honest with y'all. Okay. So that's right. So so y'all get that I'm pretty educated, right? Mm-hmm. in America, right? Okay. So I've walked into a place. I was trying to get me a job. God, what was that name of that job? I'm going to blast them. I can't even remember the name. Okay. This was a long time ago. This was when I first got my very first associate's degree. So I walked in and I was like, hey. I had my business suit on. Mm-hmm. I had my hair professionally done. Okay, nothing, no colors. You know, I want to look in blumquishish. And I'm not making fun of my sisters. Y'all can wear the hell her child style y'all want to wear, okay? Anyway, but I wasn't, okay? I wasn't looking stereotypical. And if you are, so what? I don't care. I don't care about that. I still love you. Anyway, so I walk in this place that's supposed to be professional. Because, you know, when you go to the interview, they told you to dress business professional, business casual. Had my little suit on, had my little briefcase. Wasn't nothing in it but like a little resume. But, you know, in a pen. You know what I'm saying? I had to kind of play the part, right? So I walked in there with my little black business suit on. I was strutting, okay? I mean, I was strutting. I walked up in there. I was like, yeah, I got this, baby. I got this job. And I came in there. I wasn't talking like how I'm talking now. I went in there like, yes. Hi, my name is such and such and such. My name, you know, I changed my name. It's what I ain't going to tell you my slave name, okay? But then when I walked in there, I was like, you know, my name is such and such and such. I'm here for the position. I'm here to see Jan or whatever the hell her name was. And she's like, okay, absolutely, sure, I'll go get her. And I was like, nice meeting you. I shook my hand out. She looked at my hand like it was shit, like I had boo-boo on my hand. You know what I'm saying?
What state? Where were you at when you would?
Missouri. Let me tell you, St. Louis, Missouri. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I walked up in there, and let me tell you something. That's a whole nother subject, y'all. If you ask me, I'll tell you. But anyway, I'm not gonna get into that. We only got so much time. Okay, we'll be on this motherfucker forever. Right. Anyway, yeah, I curse a lot. Y'all have to excuse my part. I'm just honest. I just keep it real. So anyway, yeah, keep it real going too far. Yes, it goes too far with me. But anyway, so I walks into this place. I'm looking good, y'all. I'm feeling good, smelling good. Not too much oil, not too least, right? But just enough where you can smell me, okay? So I'm smiling, and I'm dressed up. So I walk in there, and she said, okay. She wouldn't even touch my hand, first of all. And I was like, okay, all right, you know. Maybe she didn't want a hand touch. I don't know. Maybe she was an energy person. So she walks out. I walk out. And so somebody else come in. I did a great interview. They was like, oh, I'm so impressed by you. So they went and got somebody else. And this other person said it and was like, oh, man, you're so good. You're really qualified for this position. I just got my associate's degree, okay? And it was like, oh, you really qualified. And I worked a little bit in my field, okay? At least I said on my resume, okay? Right? So then... Exactly. You know, we fake it till we make it, right? So this woman walks in and this man walks in. Caucasian people, okay? First of all, this man, he couldn't even read or write how I know because they was out there helping him fill out the application. Damn, they're writing it themselves, okay? They was like this. I'm looking like, damn, I didn't get no help with my application. You know what I'm saying? So why they helping him? Mm-hmm. Could not read a lick. He was like, sir. Okay, long story short, I went back up there. Why did he have the job? They told me, oh, I'm sorry, you're too overqualified. We found someone else that could match the means. This mother could not even read or write, could not pronunciate any words, any language, and still, guess what? Got the job. Not that I'm hating on him, because I mean, that might have been his people, and they probably just pulled him in like we should do. But I'm just saying that, okay, so you take that into consideration. So in going back, when we start talking about creating, this is about, of course, we talk about business. I've sat in on some of y'all shows or just listened online when I couldn't log in or whatever, but I listened, right? And so we talked about the importance. You all have discussed the importance, and I'm getting back to your question. I promise you, I'm gonna bring you back around. I got to tell a story first. That's how I do, right? Mm-hmm. So when you start talking about the importance of owning business for yourselves, because a lot of times most of us, because they doing credit checks now, which is crazy. So you do a credit check for a job? Who does that?
Right.
You know what I mean? Not a criminal background check, okay? But even that's illegal, because damn, I done paid my debt to society. What was the point of going to jail and coming out on probation or parole if you all just setting me back up to go back in because you won't hire me because I'm an ex-felon? Hello?
Right.
So all jobs don't have anything to do with drugs, okay? All jobs don't have anything to do with whether or not I file bankruptcy or not. That doesn't mean I'm going to steal. That just means that I fucked up my credit because maybe I wasn't educated on credit. Maybe I didn't have a job, and maybe I lost my damn job because of this damn economy, because y'all won't hire my black ass. So therefore, you know what I'm saying? I mean, this stuff is like not rocket science to me. I don't understand. You know, I don't understand why some of these people like Trump and some of these other crazy folks be talking crazy. Now I know that they don't mean this. They just playing with my intelligence.
Distraction. That's all. Everything is
exactly a smoke screen. A smoke screen. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so winding the back. So when we talk about basically, we have to set up our own conditions, because if we don't set up our own conditions, we're going to die and die and die more, because of, you know, the drugs that they put in the foods. Everybody's getting cancer because of the trail. Prince mentioned it, because of these trail films in the air, trails in there. So, and then not only that, but, you know, asbestos that's still in these walls that they're not really break. They need to take down the building altogether and then rebuild it, instead of just putting myself back in here. And you know, this asbestos, I'm getting cancer and I'm dying. And not only is it causing cancer, but check this out, y'all, do your research, but it's causing MS. MS, the doctors. I look at a lot. I like to laugh a lot, so I had to laugh. Okay.
I love laughing.
So I looked at Richard Pryor. He was on Johnny Carson, I think, or maybe it was a David Letterman, one of them motherfuckers. But anyway, he went on there and he was asking about. They was asking him about, you know, about, because they was trying to say he had AIDS or whatever, and he was like, he was holding. Y'all know I'm a healer, and I do like a lot of lightings and burnings. Okay, so anyway, don't. I ain't just got no lighter because some other stuff. But anyway, so with this lighter, he was holding the lighter in his hand. He said because he had to keep his hand straight. So anyway, he went to the doctor, and they diagnosed him with MS. And he asked the doctor, like, "What is MS?" The doctor's like, "I don't hell know." Exactly. So. And going back to that, so we have to begin to start thinking about some of these diseases. Some of these diseases we already know for a fact: HIV, AIDS, man-made, chemical warfare, all these other things. Okay, so even some of these cancers are man-made. Okay, because that's a whole nother holistic topic. Okay, because again, you have to. It's just like a drug dealer. The government is just like a drug dealer. Because, you know, you think about a drug, you think about a real so-called drug dealer on the streets. Think about it. The ones that's rich, that really got the money, they don't touch it, okay? What he do is he'll go and do good things for the people in the community, give out turkeys on Thanksgiving and all that. Y'all seen New Jack City. That's how it is for real. So he give out turkeys, and then in most cases, they'll probably develop a clinic. You know what I mean? Like put money into a clinic, okay? So the very community, as Tupac said, that you're raping, you put money on. The same thing the government does. So at the end of the day, why do we want to be a part of something that doesn't love us? I'll give an example. So of course, I'm trying to get extra money. My business is doing pretty good, but I'm trying to get double the money, and I'm trying to put more money into invest into my business, into myself, and to my future. So I took on this little job here recently, a slave job. Let me tell you what it is, okay? First of all, it's working for the welfare office, okay? Yeah, I said it, the welfare office. Now, it's mad crazy, okay? So I'm sitting here doing this stuff. First of all, I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay, let me just throw out there where I'm still in training. I'm trying to make it past training at least. I don't know because I'm just not a good slave, but I'm trying because I got stuff to do. I got to get this extra money to invest into my business because I need a new website. I need a lot of new stuff. Okay, but anyway, it's extra income. My business is my income. This job is extra income. Let's be clear about the two. Okay. So the point is that the way that the system works is you got 24 months to be on, the government's payroll. Okay. And after 24 months, your ass is out of here. Now they can, extend you a little bit or for certain circumstances, but they're cutting out welfare in a little while, okay? I'm just saying. And then I've even seen cases, and when they tell y'all it's more white folks is on welfare, they're not lying. That is the absolute truth, okay? Because I work there in this system, the area that I'm in, Louisville, Kentucky. Yes, ma'am.
Well, you got to understand, white people are still the majority.
Exactly.
I mean, so if you look at the numbers, I mean, it makes sense.
But if you collectively, this person, LaQuisha, Amirah, and whomever, us around outnumber them. Well, we just don't know it. We want to. They don't. That's why they call us minorities. Right. But around, we outnumber them. We're really not. But it's just the point that if we stood together, we would be the majority. But that's a whole nother topic. But the solutions, let's go back to solutions. The solutions is getting your ass out this system. Getting out of the system because the system is not really helping us. So how do you do that? You begin to start saving and stop buying Jordans. You know what I mean? Yeah. Buying realistic things, putting our children, if we're going to go to their schools or colleges and things like that, if we're going to go to their colleges or pick up trades, pick up realistic trades. Everybody can't be a rapper. Let me say it again. Everybody cannot be a rapper. Everybody cannot play sports and drill a ball. Everybody can't be an actor. Everybody can't be seen like that. We need some damn producers. We have to start owning our own businesses. We have to start developing our own communities and taking ourselves out of this community and basically tell them, let it go. And start buying our freedom back and telling folk, like, look, this is where we have to be. But until then, unfortunately, some of us is going to go over here and some of us going to go to there because we're going to still keep up the system as long as there is a system. So what we have to do for the people that's over here that's already knowing, we have to expose the contradictions. You would think they would see the contradictions after police brutality, the crime bills, what Bill Clinton, everybody want to give Bill Clinton this. Yeah, I'm getting ready to make me go off and give this this Willie, this wooden tooth heifer. What's her name? This Willie wooden tooth heifer, Hillary. She ought to sit her ass down some damn where. It's because of them that these unfair crime bills are out there. Okay, it don't make no damn sense. And then y'all president, he ain't mine. I ain't vote for y'all almost made me say something. But y'all don't even vote for this Murr. Anyway, and he might have every good intentions. He might really love black people deep down and want to change because I seen the younger Obama. I want that nigga. I don't want this new motherfucker. Give me him, the one that was activist. Okay? But the point is that we talking about he might have the best intentions, so I'm not going to because I don't know his heart. I'm a reader, but we ain't gonna do the whole metaphysical thing. But we don't know his heart, but the intentions are out there. So if there should be change while we're doing and this is not against gay folk. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm not gay. But I don't have nothing to do with that. I don't even want to discuss it for real. But I'm just saying, while they're fighting, where he's fighting for the gay rights and all these different things, he's not fighting for tougher crime bills against the police. The police that are criminalizing Us, okay? We don't see hardly no bills. They always getting off. The jury is in, it's not fair because it's the own peer system. So if we remove ourselves and start developing our own political power, real political power, not in this system, guess what? Just like they had to change, just like the Republicans and the Democrats came together. Well, it was more so the Republicans seeing that black dollars was worth more, so we're gonna let these niggas vote. Okay, just like they seen that, so we have to show them we ain't messing with y'all. Y'all don't want to give us fair jobs. Y'all don't want to do this and do that, and they don't have to. It's their world. I mean, come on now. We got to be honest with ourselves. The point is, if we remove ourselves out of these conditions and remove ourselves out these systems, then that's the solution. I can't say it no plain. I don't know what other examples I got to give for us to know that this is crazy. The drug laws. Did I say about the drug laws? That's crazy. The taxes, IRS, FICA, whoever the hell that is on your check. Him too. Okay, so all these different things that are plaguing our community, and the police not allowing us. Oh, let me tell y'all, we actually have, and I let me mention this. I know this is on the topic, but a little off the topic, but I gotta put my foot in something. I gotta mention this. What's that police chief name? Kweli, Mr. Kweli. 1 second, y'all. What's that police chief name in Tampa, Florida? Eric Ward. Now here we are as an organization, the New Black Panther Party, and I didn't even tell y'all that, but let me just drop that on you. So here we are trying to resolve and solve our own issues of black on black crime. We're not calling y'all to give us no money. We're not for state to give us any money to solve our own conditions. We saying here we are. We want to just basically try to, resolve our black on black crime issues. Okay, this police chief won't even allow the people to maneuver to resolve these issues without being followed and stalked. It's stalking, okay? But aren't there laws against stalking? So is it different with the police? I mean, and that's another thing. The police have way too much power than all the land. The government has way too much power. All the states, all these folks have way too much power, and the people don't have enough because we're the one that's paying taxes, right? Is that right? Right. Are we paying taxes? Are we living in this? Because the very police, and that's another solution, because we're talking solutions, right? So the police that are living outside of these neighborhoods need to move into the neighborhoods that they're killing the babies in. How about that? They're not going to do that, though.
No, because then they're going to be neighbors to the people that they're...
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's easy to murder someone and then go back to your neighborhood and never have to deal with the ramifications of it. So that's what's going on there. But I want to, the topic is activism.
Did I answer your question?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Probably too much. Go ahead.
The topic is activism, and I want to talk about one thing that I think that is important is us empowering our next generation. And I think I think during the 60s, right, there were some good things that happened. Unfortunately, there's some things that I think a lot of people, we got our so-called rights, and then we all just, that was it, right? And I don't think that I think we went after some of the wrong fights, and I think that we didn't empower the next generation. So I want to talk to you specifically as someone who's, as an activist who's been a part of the struggle. Is what do you think about, or what steps can you take to make sure that there is another, Amirah coming up? There's another, more activists that can definitely fight for our communities, because I don't, I see it on one hand, the youth, in a lot of ways are waking up, but in a lot of ways I don't see it. So what can we do, you think?
I think it's half and half on that, because some things when you think is all over, like, let's look at them fools out there doing that stupid stuff. And then when you look around in the same area, you see some very good things. So let me tell you something. I don't really, here's the thing. I don't really think it's the youth's fault. I know a lot of people are like, what do you mean they don't think this is useful? I don't really think. I think it's some of these elders that need to quit pissing and shitting on the youth, because that's a lot of cases what happens. But anyway, let's go back. Let's go back to the young Amirah. When I first started in the movement, which was eons ago, which was a long back in high school, 17ish. Okay, 17ish. Even before then, of course I was aware, right? But let's go back then. So when you have that, I didn't have those elders coming to me, talking to me and encouraging me. They was telling me, oh, you're going to get yourself killed. Oh, you're going to get us killed. Don't do that. Don't do that. But what can I do? And then you have a lot of the elders tried to hold me back, and still today. So I think that, and then you have some good elders that was like, come on, let me show you the way. But for the most part, but we're talking on a holistic level. I'm talking about a large percentage. So one of the things that we have to do is educate our youth. We have to tell them, even if you know your elder and you get ready to, and I don't necessarily think that elders always have to be, I think elders can be on front lines, whatever role they want to play. If they want to be on front lines with us, or if they want to, take a counseling seat, that's cool too. Whatever the elders want to do, whatever they want to offer, but damn it, offer something. Hell, yeah. But we do have a blueprint for a lot of things. If you read books like Carter G. Wilson, I'm not Carter G. Carter G. Goodson. Sorry, Carter G. Goodson. I'm still thinking about that math teacher, but Carter G. Goodson. If you read books like that, a lot of his books, because they offer the education piece. Even like some things from insights from Frederick Douglass. I read Frederick Douglass. I know a lot. I got some issues with that, but it's still a good read. If you read books by Amos Wilson, so I was trying to put both of them together, But if you read books like that, if you read any books that's dealing with education or where we came from and how to resolve things, even like Oba T. Shaka books, The Art of Leadership is a really good book off the top of my dome. I got a library here. If I go through the library, but I ain't gonna do all that tonight. But books like that's offering solutions, that's telling different ways that we can, help our community, and definitely having Carter G. Woodson. Sorry, yeah, Carter G. Woodson.
Miseducation of a Negro.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. But he got a lot of books. That ain't the only one. He got a lot of books. He got books on talking about the black presidents, the little pink pamphlet, and then he got another black book that talks about presidents. It's the smaller one, then it's a bigger one. It's a black book. But anyway, I can't recall the exact name of it. But the point is that, a lot of these educational books, we have to go back, and not only reading is course fundamental, as they say, but the action behind the reading is definitely fundamental, and that's definitely getting more. So for the people that are in schools, for our youth that's in the schools and their mothers have not taken them out, because in some cases, because they have to work 4 or 5 jobs. I mean, let's be honest, okay? We got to be honest with ourselves. We don't want to leave our children at home unattended, because God knows what could happen. So let's be honest, okay? We got to be realistic and we got to be balanced. We can't just say, y'all take your children out of the school system, because at the same time, again, some of us cannot afford to. Okay. So that's what I didn't mention. So let's go back. So if we can get into going into these schools and talking to our youth is definitely important. Definitely, if you can't get into the schools, then your children have friends. Your sisters, nieces, nephews, and all these other folk has friends. Educate them. Start taking them on field trips. Start taking them different places and showing them and educating them. Even on a typical basketball sporting game. Instead of just telling them to go take this ball, go dribble down there. Tell them why you should take that ball. And then explain to them in a Afrocentricity way of the ball dynamics and how it applies to the world. Because that's the kind of coach that I had before, that broke down the ball and the dynamics on the terms of life.
Mm-hmm. Now, were you going to say something? Kim?
No, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I was actually going to ask, how can we bring a little bit more awareness of this type of material, because if, you know, as a community we can go out, but how do we get the interest going? How do we get the parents involved? How, you know, because the parents is actually going to be able to be the ones that continue the process in the home. So how do we build more awareness and as well reinforce within our community?
The same way we do everything: flyers, propaganda, word of mouth, just your typical conversation, gossip. Make it gossip. Rumors. Our people love rumors. We love rumors, and just start off by whispering into somebody's ear, and by the time it gets to another person, it's going to be flipped around. But either way, they're going to want to go back to the source, and they're going to want to Google what you said. They'll be like, well, that's not true. Google. And guess what? Boom. Well, let me get this book. You know, and where she said that from, and it was probably misquoted and taken all the way out the picture and said a whole nother different way. But either way, that's going to pique my interest. So we have to start gossip and rumors to get our education out there, word of mouth, propaganda, passing out flyers, spreading on social media, because a lot of our people are on social media. So for the ones that's not, propaganda flyers, get that out there. Go talk to people. Tell somebody to tell somebody to tell a friend. We know how to throw a party, don't we? We'll have 1 trillion people at that party. If we doing a free chicken giveaway, you know how many things will show up. Don't try to act like y'all don't know what I'm talking about.
I will be there.
Exactly. We doing chicken. We got some free something. We offering free pens. People gonna show up because it's free. Just because it's free, okay? So that's one of the ways we can do. We can definitely do some bazaars. We can do some block parties and start, you know, even for the little all these rapping children out there, throw a talent show and be like, okay, for everybody that want to be in this talent show, y'all got to talk about some Black history oriented, or do some type of education. My computer down. Let me get this charger. Okay, do some kind of political education on pick a historical person. We don't want just a typical Dr. King. We don't want who else is it? Dr. King and
Malcolm.
Hold on. Malcolm. Oh, no, we got to keep talking about Malcolm now. Hold on now, sis. I love Malcolm. I love Malcolm now.
Yeah, but that's like the typical though. Everybody knows about Dr. King and Malcolm X.
Yeah, they don't know about Dr. King.
They really know about Dr. King.
They don't know the Dr. King that I knew. The one that was like Black Power. Y'all knew who Dr. King? Yeah. Don't make me go that speech. Go research it with Dr. King. The last stage of his life, he was tired. Okay, and when he spoke out against the Vietnam War, that was one of the reasons what got him assassinated. But that's a whole nother topic. But the point is, Dr. King began to change a lot of his political views. And that's when he would begin to start doing the talks with Brother Malcolm, with Brother Minister Malcolm, or Malik Al-Jibbar. So again, start doing plays, you know, start putting on plays for children, or start having children be in plays. You know, we got to do things to attract them, and just be like, okay, so we're going to do a poetry reading class. And after you get done with you go to this class and you do the political education, and then for them to stay in the class, they got to stay there for 6 weeks. Then you give them a laptop. I'm just saying, we can raise funds to do that. We can buy them laptops. The good laptops is $200, right? Hell, I paid $150 for this little piece of crap that I got right now, but it's still decent, okay? Less than that, really, like $99, okay? But y'all understand what I'm saying? We could get some laptops or something for these children that stay into this course, you know? So it's different things that we can do as a community, and we can do scholarship funds. It's so much that we can do to get and then they'll make the parents go in, because they'll be like, well, dang, if they doing something on free books or free this or free that, then guess what? Dang, well, I need to get Fufu in this class, or Bobby Joe, so they can get this free stuff, because I ain't got all this kind of money you paying for all this education. You don't need to do all these grants, because that's going on me. You go to that class, you know what I mean? So we can do different things. And then even for the artistic ones, and even for the ones that's into scientists. We have to start developing more awards for our children that want to, explore animals. Don't discourage them for doing testing on an animal. They're like, oh, that's the animal rights. Listen, we need some cures. I don't start talking about that. I'm a vegetarian now, shooting. Y'all eating the meat. Now how you gonna talk about animal activists but you eating it? Shut your ass up. Anyway, so the point is, I'm sorry, y'all. My mouth is potty. I'm working on it.
Potty
mouth. Yes.
I ain't lied. I ain't working on it. I'm lying. But anyway, so the point is that we have to do things that's going to attract our youth. If we get our youth involved, the parents will come. Then we have to do even with our parents nowadays, because some of our parents are children, okay? So we have to do things that attract young adults. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll watch your baby for an hour if you go to this class. No, you got to go to the class. You got to sign the little slip. Now you got to stay the whole time. Now, if you leave, you know what I mean? So we got to do them like the welfare do them, because remember when they got to sign for the daycare, they got to sign the little sheet. When they take the children to the daycare, they got to make sure they're going to work. If they're not going to work, they don't get no babysitter, right? So it's so many different things that we can do to attract our youth. There's so many different things we can attract the mid adults, and there's so many things we can do to attract our elders. So as an elder, let's say, for example, because you have to go through the elder too in a lot of cases. So because a lot of the children are being babysat by the elder, okay? So if I'm a youth and you don't have just a regular person, a regular Joe Blow, so I come up to you and I see that your house is hot, or you don't have a heating unit or air conditioning unit, whatever. And if I go and find you an air conditioning unit and give it to you for free, or if I cut your lawn discounted or free, I mean, why wouldn't you support what I'm doing? Why wouldn't you try to get this child into this program? So I'm just saying it's a lot of different things that we could do to attract our people. That's all.
Now, besides being an activist, a mother, even a grandmother, and among many things, as anyone who's listened to the show is, there's a recurring theme on Blab, and there's a lot of life coaches on Blab, and
that's why I don't even want to call myself a life coach, but whatever. Go ahead.
And thank God, one of the first life coaches I did come across was you, Amirah, and we often talk a lot about what we think of some of the people that call themselves life coaches, and so. I want to first. I want to talk to you about you being a life coach and what does that mean to you? And because as you know, on these Blab streets, you'll see life coaches all at every corner.
Okay, let me put my life coaching exterior on. See, when we talk about Black power and Black community and activists, I wear a different hat. Okay, but so let me put I need to put my suit jacket on so I can. Okay, but just imagine I've got my little suit jacket on. So let me be refined and reframe. Okay, all right. Let's go to your question, dear brother. So with that said, is I just don't even like calling myself a life coach, because I'm more than just a life coach. Mm-hmm. I'm a holistic healer. I'm a healer. I'm an African holistic healer. I'm a practitioner. I'm a crystallologist. I can help people heal themselves with crystals. I'm an educator. I educate the youth on the system, on political education. I educate people on how to heal themselves without always having to go to the doctor, because we can't afford to go to the doctor all the time, correct?
Right.
And so I do so many different things that I can't just really call myself a life coach. That's just what my degree is in. I really should stop calling myself a life coach. I don't know, because it's so many in Blab. And one thing I do appreciate about Blab is the fact that Blab has taught me about not just, putting myself in one lane, because I'm not in one lane. I'm out the box. I've been out the box my whole entire life. I just done told y'all about activism. I done told y'all about how we can resolve some of the issues in our community. I didn't really go all into detail, because some things don't need to be said on this Blab. Some things we need to deal with in-house. However, I done already told you about some, ills that things that we can do within our community to resurrect our youth. I just didn't talk, you know what I mean? So I'm not inside of a box. So no, I don't know exactly if I should even call myself a life coach because I'm bigger than what a life coach is.
I feel bad for life coaches because there is a little taint on life coaching because of some of the phony balonies, as I call them, that are out there. But let me ask you a question: when it comes to being a life coach, what do you think separates yourself from some of the other ones that may be questionable?
I think I'm pretty much, I don't think I know for a fact. I'm very honest. I don't just take people's money. My prices are very inexpensive. As I'm being taught by a PR person that worked with me before. She's like, stop saying you don't cost that much. She said, start saying you inexpensive. I'm like, okay, whatever. So my prices are inexpensive. I'm honest. And I have my clients come back to me. I have regular clients. I don't just have Joe by blow type of people. And even if this person comes to me consistently every day or one time a week or once a month or once a year, they still coming back. Okay. So I think the fact that I'm honest, I speak regular, I'm a healer. When people talk to me, they feel good. I make people feel good. And I'm not gonna lie to them. I'm just gonna tell them what it is. I mean, like it or love it. So I'm pretty much myself with my clients. I mean, literally. Like, by the time I'm done, my clients want to be my friend. And I'm like, no, you ain't getting no discount now. You know what I'm saying? We still going to do business. This is business. And we still go out for a drink. I can trip with drink sometime. I can get you some coffee, sis. It's okay. But for the most part, I think, I know for a fact that I'm honest. I should have had one of my clients call in. I didn't even think about it. But I would think, what I've been told is that I'm pretty much honest. I'm not going to overcharge somebody for something, that somebody else probably overcharged them for in the first place. And I'm going to tell them exactly how we're going to do it, where we're going to go. And pretty much it's up to them if they want to go to the next level. I can't make any promises. The only thing I can promise you is that I'm going to do my best to help you. Now, whether or not you want to listen or not, or vice versa, but at the end of the day, I think honesty is pretty much the best way, and I would do my best to help you. So even let's say that someone called me for a reading, and I do readings too. So somebody might call me for a reading, and let's say that I was off. Okay, at least I'm gonna try to give them something else. But I promise you, I guarantee you, within that week's time or 2 days time, they'll be calling me talking about, you was talking about my cousin and not me, or something like that. It might have been someone close to them. I did Kente like that one time. I inboxed him. That's another story. I inboxed Kente one time, and I said, do you have such and such in your family? Remember that?
Yeah,
you never did get back with me, but we'll talk about that later.
No, you did not. A reoccurring theme, Kente. Everybody's calling you out.
Call out Friday. This is Call Out Friday.
I would love to know what got you into healing. What made you, being with your background, but what caused you to become a healer?
Yeah, that's a really good question. God, it goes back to the family thing, the family tree. I had an aunt. I don't know what she was into. She was first of all, she lived in New Orleans, so she was into some wild stuff. Okay, and when I talk about wild stuff, like she was wild. Okay, she was married 3 times, and I ain't gonna mention that on air, but let's just say that one of her husbands got killed, and the other husband may have allegedly knew something about it. I don't know. But this was just rumored. Remember, I told y'all about starting positive rumors, but that's a negative one, so don't start that one. But long story short, I was just around her, and she would just tell me certain things, and she would always tell me I had a gift. So it's kind of. Can y'all hear me still?
I can hear. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can still see you. I can't see Kente no more.
Yeah, go ahead. No problem.
But so for me, I would say it was my aunt, and then I had a great grandmother, and she was like a slave. I'm not. No, seriously, no, she was a slave. But I didn't understand. I never understood what she had to say. One thing I did know about her was that she was a healer, and she didn't like nobody sitting in her rocking chair, and she sung hymns. Okay. So every time somebody would get sick or something in the house, because again, this is Mississippi, they can't afford medical health care and all stuff. And then the doctors and the midwives would always come to the house, and just people like that, the healers. So they would be like, oh, my stomach hurts. I wouldn't understand nothing she's saying, but my grandmother would understand. She's like, go in there and get such and rich and something. I don't know what she would say, but long story short, my grandmother would go in there and go get whatever herb she was talking about, come back, put it on that person, and that person will be like, woo, I feel so much better hours later. So I don't know, I was just fascinated by that.
When did you discover that you had a gift?
That's deep. God, I would probably say I ran from it on and off throughout my life. But I would say more for the most part, when my mother would tell me that when my mother would, my mother's a Cancer, so her feelings get hurt really easily, and my father would hurt her feelings sometimes because he was a Taurus like me, right? So he would say something to hurt her feelings, and she'll come in the room, and I would just kind of apply my hand to her head and hug her. When I wasn't being mean, but that's another story. And she would feel better, and I knew it was some kind of weird. And like I said, my aunt would tell me, and just some things I saw people. I saw like my grandfather's death, and he died like right after I had my daughter. So it was wild. I saw it like right before my clock and my watch stopped. Like no joke, hand to God. So just certain things like that, have happened on and off throughout my life. And I saw certain things, knew I shouldn't have did it, but did it anyway, and felt it, just on and off.
Well, you see so many people do, the healing and different ways. So how do you go about actually doing your readings and your healings? What is your process?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't even need tarot cards. I know I have them. I have like over a zillion types. I have L rods. I use crystals. I can use bones, like chicken bones. This get ready to be crazy. But can I be honest with you? That's just razzle dazzle for me. But for the most part, I feel it. Sometimes all I need is a name. Sometimes I need a picture. Sometimes I just think about somebody, and I can tell. So I don't know. I have a process for whatever that person asks for. So if the person asks me to do a tarot reading, it's listed. Would you like a tarot reading? They'd be like, yeah. Or they might say, can I get an energy reading? An energy reading, I'm going to go with the dome. Whatever they ask for, that's what the process is. So if they want me to do the rooms, I throw some rooms out. If they want me to do the bones, I throw some bones out. If they, whatever,
Okay.
I go with what they say, They paying their money. They giving me, they give, They give me the pleasure and the time to work with them. So, hey, it's a pleasure for me, whatever they want,
So when did you start your business and start healing?
God, I don't know. That's one of those questions. Professionally, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so professionally, I started a year ago.
Oh, okay.
A year ago in July.
Okay. And I know it's Ask Life Coaching Ministry.
No. Wait a minute. Correction. May. Sorry, May. It was a year ago in May. Okay. I had to be honest. I didn't want to lie to you. I had to think back because I almost lied. We wouldn't be lying. It's just an estimation. I would say May. Okay. Can we do an estimation of May so I don't look like no liar?
No, you're fine. You're fine. That's no problem. And it's Ask Life Coaching Ministries, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
And I saw that you actually you can train and certify other people that are interested, right? No, that's interesting. So I mean,
on whatever.
Go ahead.
Whatever level whatever training that I have, I offer. Some things I haven't even put on the website because again, there's so much. You know how they'll be so congested. So for the most part, people just ask me, "Hey, well, do you do this?" I'm like, "Yeah." If I don't, I can get it real quick. I just know I can't explain it. But no, but for the most, for everything that I have, I am certified in.
Right.
It's jokes. But if I'm not certified in it, I'm like, no, I'm not certified in it, but I know how to do it. I'm just gonna tell them. I'm not gonna lie to them. I don't have time to be lying about my gifts. That's on the plantation. I exaggerate. You're supposed to do that thing. I'm just saying. I mean. But you can't lie to the people. The people know. The people be like, come on now. You know what I'm saying?
People will be able to.
But go ahead.
Well, I know. Yeah. I know that Kente is having a hard time coming back in. I don't know what is going on. But usually at this time, we just acknowledge our guests. We want and acknowledge the people that are here. So we want to thank everybody that stayed here for the whole time. And that are watching right now. And if you guys have any questions for Amirah, please ask away. You're welcome to ask your questions right now. So Kente.
Come on, Kente.
I know. Kente is trying to come back in.
Amen. Thank you.
All right.
Congratulations. All the clowns come out.
So, yes, I was like, I know this thing is not going to do this to me tonight. Oh man, but I'm here, and yes, thank you.
Somebody did. I'm sorry. I think somebody did have a question, but I didn't see it until like a second ago. Now it went away. I apologize if somebody had a question, but I didn't see it. That's just too much to be paying attention over here. Then trying to answer, So that's the reason why I didn't answer any questions. I gotta concentrate on one thing.
I want to give a shout out to everybody that's in the chat room. As Kiana just said, I see Artis is in the chat room. Curtis, I know, was in. Gerald. I was in Blab Purgatory. And I want to give a special shout out to Imani Williams. Imani Williams is the admin for the Black Artists Connected Facebook group, the writing group specifically. And I have to say, I just love this sister so much. She's a wonderful person, and she's doing an amazing job with the writers group. And if you guys are not up on Black Artists Connected, please make sure you guys check it out. It's a place for us, Black folks, and I will put a link in there for both the group as well as the writers group. But thank you so much, Imani, for hopping in and checking us out today. So, the wonderful Imani Williams. All right, so I'm
recapping. I'm sorry, somebody said something while I recap what I'm recapping. I just noticed that. I'm sorry.
Funny? I don't see the chat. I don't know. Like I type something, it doesn't come through. And then
it's a lot of issues with Blab tonight. I mean, with coming in and typing, and people couldn't stay. That's why LaShonda is not here, because she couldn't stay in. So she was messaging me. Other people, they dropped out because it just wasn't.
It wasn't coming through. Yeah, it's not coming through.
No.
You know what?
It's me.
No,
it's me.
It's your energy. You're putting out that energy.
Yeah. So, but you know what though?
I think.
Yeah, I know. Blab has an issue with you. I don't know what it is.
They do.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've been able to be in. This is the first time I've been on the Blab for a consecutive time, y'all. So congratulations,
right. And all right, so I wanted to also we do a segment, and it's called well, hello, Rashim, I believe, or Rashim. We do a segment called This Day in History, and we're going to do This Day in History for May 27th. And this will take us to the year 1863. And we're going to talk about Negro troops, the assault of the Louisiana Colored Volunteers on the Confederate breastworks at Port Hudson. Was the first major battle in which Negro troops took part in. So, there's a long history of us fighting in the military. And, I definitely wanted to include that. So, so that was
that's a good hit fact.
1863. All right. So, okay. So I'm so glad we have you here, Amirah, and we get to pick your brain about a lot of things. Now, you mentioned the new Black Panther Party, and that your husband, is one of the leaders of the new Black Panther Party, as well as obviously yourself. What has that journey been like, as being a part of that organization? And it comes with a lot. It comes with a lot of scrutiny. It comes with you become a target as well, being a part of a organization such as like that. And so, can you please give us some kind of insight on some of the positives and also some of the tribulations that I'm sure you've probably gone through, just because from your family being a part of this organization?
Well, let's start with the negatives. I've been fired off of jobs. I done lost relationships with family members, as well as mates. Let's see. Folk that made fun of. I really don't care. But and children, I think children are definitely children of the so-called Black Power movement definitely suffer a lot because of the fact that a lot of times, even if you explain to them, of course they don't understand because they want you with their mother. They want to be with their mothers or fathers in such of a way. And if you really rock and roll like I was rock and rolling and still do at times, but now my children are grown now. But on and off, I had supportive parents, so that's what certainly helped me. But if it wasn't for them, boy, I would have had to. It would have been something. But the point is that I think sometimes the children can suffer in some cases. You have to keep them balanced. You have to have a positive force behind you. Now, when we discuss what else was a negative, I said relationships, jobs, money.
Right.
Oh, money. Oh, God, money. That because I do have some white clients, but I mean they can Google my name and it comes up. So I'm not gonna hide who I am. That doesn't mean just because it's a stereotype, just because I'm a Panther does not mean that I hate white folk or hate anybody because of the color of their skin. I just see what it is. I mean, I'm just saying, white folks know what it is too. Shoot, we ain't finna play this game. So we don't talk about political views. So yeah, I have lost money. I have lost relationships, jobs, which is money as well. Even on down to places of residence, and even on down to in some cases having to explain to others so much. You know what I mean? Even being harassed, people trying you in the police harassment. And when I say harassment, that's what I mean, them. Because when they run your name, they know what it is. When they roll up behind you with the car, because your car's registered legally. So just different things like that. I would think. Oh, and sexism. Did I mention that? I'm not going to just say the state and all these other different entities. I got to be honest. Sexism is very negative, and that's within or different organizations, because that's not the only organization I was a part of, okay? Or I am a part of. I'm a part of a lot of different organizations. That's just one that I deal with. I deal with it on a consistent level. I be in and out of different things. But yeah, for the most part, I would say sexism. People hating on me because I was younger in some cases, and some people hating on me because I was older in some cases. Because a lot of the brothers in these so-called Afrocentric movements, or Black Power movement, whatever y'all want to call it, will kind of look at you. Well, you're just a pretty face. You know, I don't want to listen to you. They don't want to follow your leadership, although you're the best person for the job because you're a female. So I've experienced some of that. I've experienced people, trying to pursue me. And when we talk about sexism, let's go to sexual harassment. So when even they talked about it in the 60s. I remember reading, if y'all ever read any of the Panthers Queen books, like people like Blaine Brown. Not that's questionable because a lot of people kind of, I don't even want to necessarily touch, but I'm referring to her book called The Taste of Power. She mentioned it in that book. Also, Afeni Shakur, Ashe to her. But she mentioned in her book as well, she said Minister Huey P. Newton told her to get in this bed or some whole stuff like that. And she said, nigga, I'm not getting that's her exact words, nigga, I'm not getting in the bed with you because of who you are. So in a lot of different cases, so it just carries on. So a lot of people, because we were raised into a certain society and have a certain way of thinking, that they don't think that women can lead armies, and we've been leading armies for years. So certainly that I would say is a form of negativity. But when you talk about the positive aspects,
wait, real quick, before you get to the positive aspects, I want to interject this one thing, and then I'll let you.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I met Amirah on Blab, right? And we were always ended up in Blabs, and I would always check out her Blabs and stuff. And Amirah was very coy about, she mentioned that she was an activist, and she mentioned that her husband was an activist, but she never was she didn't give a lot of details at first. So, and a lot of times people will say they're an activist, and you're like, okay, whatever, right? And then one day she finally told me who her husband is and what group they were involved in. And I was like, oh, you guys ain't playing, because I definitely was aware of your husband and obviously the organization as well. So I didn't realize that the guy that every once in a while you see in the background was that dude. So I was like, this show is that guy, so I was like, wow. I remember when you first told me, I was like, wow. I said, well, I know the FBI is definitely watching this Black. So
he is on ADL site. I mean, so I'm just saying.
Right. So I was like, I know they're checking this out. So, but I just wanted to interject that. But go ahead with the positive.
Shoot, I'm trying to find some. I'm glad she broke in because I had to think about some positives. Shoot, this is an unfinished revolution. Shit, I'm ready to retire. But they don't have a retirement home for Black Panthers, so or any activism. I guess so. I guess I can't go. But God, somebody save me, help me, Jesus. But anyway, just kidding. No, I'm not. I'm for real. But. I would think, I guess the positives are seeing a future, a bigger, brighter future for our youth, or even trying to fight like hell to get one now. I guess the struggle, they said that you should appreciate the struggle and love the struggle, but hell, I don't love the struggle, okay? I just don't. But I don't really see any positives other than seeing a brighter future. And the reason why I'm doing it is because I'm tired of oppression, and I'm tired of seeing our people being murdered, killed, and abused, and us killing ourselves and each other, right? And so just pretty much want to see a brighter future. If I can sum it up, that's about the best thing I got for you on the positive.
Now, we have a question in the chat room.
And meeting some of the people that I've always wanted to meet that I read about in history books. That's it. That's all I got of positives.
They want to know who your husband is in the chat room.
I don't know if you want me to tell y'all.
You can do it. It's the new Black Panther Party, and her last name is Kweli, and they have the same last name. Definitely dynamic brother. So
did y'all? Can y'all see any of my posts? I'm just typing away. Y'all can't see it because I sure can't see
That's
it.
the thing. That web is really messing up tonight, and sometimes when we type, people, and you said there's a question, I don't see the question, so I don't see
I saw
any
when it first popped up, but I don't see it on the actual thing. I see when Artis typed it in there. So yeah. So, yeah. But yeah, just you could do the math that way. But
right.
It's pretty awesome though.
He looking like he my name out your interview.
Hilarious.
Let me ask his permission, y'all. Let me be friendly here because sometimes my communication is and I'm a communicator, but I have to start asking people for their permission instead of just blasting them. Mr. Kweli. He said, hell no.
Let me ask you this question. How do you feel that the Black Panther Party has evolved over the years?
Has it? No, I'm just kidding. Well, I think on the terms of not just accepting people for a certain stance that they have, like back in the day, for example, there's been so many different types of Black Panther parties, even on down to, if we go even on the war, you mentioned the war earlier. The army, they had a force in there called the Panthers that actually fought the Germans, so they did really good, and and then even in Kemet, so you know what I mean. So we have always went through evolution, I guess you can say that. But I would say that on the terms of our stance, like on our focus being on the Black community more so, and also I would say the evolution definitely came from being able to see in front. They didn't have a blueprint in the Black Panthers in certain formations, so they didn't have someone. They had certain people like Mukasa Ricks, that's my boy. So they had people like him who trained Minister Huey P. Newton, and he coined the phrase Black Power. Okay, so let's get that together. But when you have a lot of the elders who have left certain breadcrumbs, as I call it, behind, and said, okay, this, that. So certain mistakes that they made, because a lot of things became reactionary. So I would say, as a whole, now some people are still reactionary. Don't get it twisted, because they're still human. But I would say the reactionary is lessened because we have a blueprint. You know what I mean? We have certain blueprints. Now, some things is like a computer program. If then something else. You know what I mean? Keep it simple. So I would say that there's been certain breadcrumbs that has been left behind for us to be able to evolve and to be able to make different types of decisions. So our decision making is a bit differently because of the breadcrumbs that's been left behind. And then the support system is a little bit differently, because now people know who the Panthers were and is because of certain legacies that was left behind. Because people didn't know about, necessarily in, Kemet or Africa or Motherland, that they were in the pyramids, that they had the signs of the panther heads and different things like that. Or even in the war times when they had the Panthers who the all black regiment, they called themselves Panthers, and different things like that. And even the Mukasa Rex and Kwame Ture and the SNCC organization and all these different organizations definitely brought some definitely helped to coin certain phrase. And so I would say also it's a little bit harder today, more so because a lot of people don't know we not free yet. You know what I mean? So I would say that's a little bit differently, because back in the 60s, certain things were blatant, like, like whites only, you know what I mean? So it's not necessarily, they're not necessarily saying whites only, but they just show you in the form of a police, be like, oh, what are you doing in this area? Whose car is this? Where's your registration? And all these different things. And even going to a job, they don't just blatantly say, well, we're not going to hire you because you're a nigger. Back then, they'd be like, no, nigga, you not. What are you doing here, sir? You need to go to the back entrance. You know what I mean? So things like that.
It's a trip, too. Black Panther has been trending twice this year. One with the whole Beyonce thing.
Of course.
And then now this movie that just came out and that they announced about the comic book character, as well. I find that very interesting too.
Very.
Yeah. So, I think it's very important too that we understand what our history is, and and pass it along. And also too, I know you realize it's gotten dark here. Literally, my track light went out. So
I know
it's like Blab is mad, the internet's mad, and even the light. What the heck? So I can't change it now. So that's why I got dark here. Yeah.
That ain't me. This sister, like, yeah, she's lighting lights. She turned the lights off. So we ain't never had this kind of blow up.
The lights out in this joint. That is so funny that the light went out during the show, right? It could have went out any other time, right?
Well, just with me, huh?
Right, I know, man. What is
it's my energy, because I'm so powerful. See, I can flip it on you, sister. I'm so powerful. My power and speech make the lights go out.
If it comes back on when the show's over, I'm gonna. But
it probably will.
So I want to thank you so much, Amirah, for coming on the show. As you know, I think the world of you, and I'm so glad that you're out there doing your thing. And so anybody who wants you for your life coaching, for your readings, or just want to follow you on social media, how can they do so?
502-208-9142 is my telephone number. My website is www.ask314life.com, and also I'm on I have like 3 different pages, just in case they shut one down, another one opens up. It's Amirah Kweli, and you spell that Amirah Kweli, Kweli, like the rapper, but we're not the same. Or Amirah Sankofa Kweli. So either one of that. I have an email address as well, ask314life@gmail.com, so you can reach me there as well. So I'm really reachable. That's pretty much how you can find me. So and you can be entertained, and definitely my sense of humor. I meant to mention to y'all, when y'all say what separates me from rest of the life coaches, my sense of humor. I forgot to tell you that as well. It's different.
You post your videos on YouTube as well?
Yes, I do. I have a whole little page that I'm on. I think it's under Amirah Sankofa. I think it's Amirah Sankofa. You can Google Amirah Sankofa Kweli, or you can Amirah Kweli, or you can Google. I think it's one of my long emails. It might be ask314 help me please @gmail.com. Set to. But really, just type in Amirah. You'll find all kind of stuff on me, even like the activism stuff. So.
All right, Kiana, how can people get you in social media? And once again, tell us about a happy work week.
You guys can find me across the board on most platforms at Happy Work Week, Facebook group, At Facebook/Happy Work Week, my Facebook page, Facebook.com/Happy Work Week 555. So pretty much across the board, happyworkweek.com, you can find me there. So Kente, how can people find you?
You can follow me at KenteF, and of course you can go to indyradio.org. That's INDY radio.org. Just as a programming note is, we won't be here next Friday, but we'll be here 2 days early on the 1st, I believe, which is Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern. We're trying to book a guest for that day, but if not, we might just do a little freestyle, something or other. But we're definitely going to chop it up with you on Wednesday, and then we go back the following week to our regular scheduled day. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, thank you for coming on, Amirah, and looking forward to what you have in your future. And, next time you guys will see me, the lights will be on, by the way.
Right?
That wasn't me. I hope that wasn't me. If it was, it was because I was powerful. I'm a powerful being.
Yeah. What was it, Beyonce? Who?
We're not talking about her.
Oh yeah, my bad. I'm not going to say the B word. So.
You can't see me.
Right. All right.
So you can just you can live like the Crip and Blood life and just put a C in front of it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's
hilarious. All right, you guys. We'll see you next week.